So on that pathway towards the cookhouse.
Which direction? That direction or towards my direction?
No, this direction, because the anteroom is on your left, and then the cookhouse is on the right. So there's a pavement between the cookhouse and the anteroom. So that's the road he should take and then run for his life. That's where it was shot him, and then.
I understand how you explain the geography. I want you to use this space and explain the positions, such that we would have a good understanding of what happened.
Okay.
The way you've just described it, it's like Fafanyang was shot whilst he was running behind you where you were standing.
No, he was running in front of us.
Okay. Can you use this space to show who was standing where?
Okay, like this table, okay? Like we are all standing at this table here, facing you, okay? And Fafanyang was asked to run for his life.
Towards which direction?
Towards your direction, okay? So as he stepped off, he was, in the form of a run, but not that much, because somebody who is an study, you cannot have the, the strength to run that far. So as he stepped off, he was running, looking behind. A shot came from Edu.
Who is Edu?
Edward Singate.
What was his rank at this?
Lieutenant Edward Singate.
Okay.
Yeah, a shot came from Lieutenant Singate. Pow! He fell down. He got up. Koli also shoot at him.
At this stage, where was Koli?
Koli was standing there.
Amongst your group?
Yes.
Did he make a move towards Fafanyang?
If it will be a move, maybe a standing position or a firing position, but not like run towards him, no. If he might take a position, probably a standing position, whereby you have to shoot your left foot forward to have at least a balance of your weight.
Did you see him aim his weapon at Fafanyang?
No, I didn't see him. After the shot, when once a weapon is fired, that, smoke comes out. So that smoke, where it comes, that's where I glanced, I realized that it is his weapon that was fired.
In order to make that shot, what did he have to do? As a soldier, can you tell us what Koli had to do in order to make that shot? What are the steps he must take in order to make that shot?
As I said, you must have to send your left foot forward to balance yourself and then take an aim. And then shot.
So he must have taken a shooting position.
Exactly, a standing, not squatting down, standing position.
And then
fired.
He aimed his weapon.
Of course, yes, it was an aim shot.
And then he would have to pull the trigger.
Yes.
And that would be a deliberate shot.
Of course, yes, it was a deliberate one.
Intentionally to kill.
Yes.
That's your testimony.
That's my testimony.
What do you say to the suggestion that the shot coming out of Koli's weapon was accidental?
No, I deny that. I definitely deny it.
Why do you deny that?
Because if it is an accidental shot, he would not have hit his target. He would not have hit his target. There are procedures in firing, all right? You must have to look through the, foresight blade, okay, to the front tip of the front side blade to the target. You have to inline distance in order to hit your weapon. AK-47 is not just like any other weapon. By looking at you where I am, unless if I am somebody who is a marksman, I can just, rapid fire. That one does not need that much aim. You just point your muzzle where the target is, and then you spray it. Then along the line, because when you burst, it goes with about five rounds will go at the same time. Without releasing it, it will continue firing. So in that, I would say, but if not, you have to aim your target and hit your target, then you get it. You can't say it's accident. That is not an accident.
The evidence, one of the testimony we received here is that Koli was running towards Fafanyang in order to help save him because he was shot.
If you look at the...
Let me finish.
Okay.
He had his gun slung over his shoulder, and as he was running, there was accidental discharge, and it hit Fafanyang on the jaw. What do you say to that?
That is totally wrong.
Is that possible?
No, that is not possible. Because a weapon that is sling, all right, if there is an accidental fire or a negligent discharge, ND we call it, then you either wound yourself or the shot will land somewhere very close to you. But it cannot travel and go and hit somebody. That is not possible. It's not possible. No.
If I were to tell you that the testimony I have just described come from Koli, what would you say to that?
No, Koli is just trying to build a cover-up, but if I was him, I would have said, I shoot him. If I was him in his shoe.
Essentially, you saying he lied?
Of course, yes.
To cover himself?
Of course, yes.
From responsibility?
I am telling you. If I was him, I would have said, yes, I killed him. Yes. Saying an accident discharge. That is not true story.
So you, Emelba, standing there on that day of November 11, you knew that Koli finished Fafanyang deliberately?
Yeah.
That's your testimony?
That's my testimony.
Under oath?
Under oath.
What happened after that?
And from there, things started unfolding again. All right. From there, I moved towards the garden. Then I saw Bab Karjata walk into the camp. How he came, I don't know. So when he arrived, I went and approached him and said, sir, good morning, sir. He said, yes. I said, sir, last night your driver was overcome. That is Ngom, Sergeant Ngom, that he's inside the cell. He said I should go and make arrangement for his release. And I went to the guard room. I met many soldiers there. I spoke to this guy, how do you call it, Buba Jame. He was the duty provost then, that night.
Which Buba Jame are you referring to?
Kanilai. All right? So I told Kanilai that, look, Army commander said you should release this Bab Karangom, his driver is not part of it. Then he requested the chief from Batch. Then he opened the cell.
Which Batch are you referring to?
Sambajalo. Then he called his name. He walked out from the lot, and then he came out. I asked him to go and dress up in his house and then bring the Bab Karjata's car along.
And what happened after that?
As soon as he left, we were there for a while. Briefly, the council members, they left again towards Banjul. Later, they came back. This will be around in the afternoon, 12 upwards. When they came also, there was an arrangement for a vehicle. All right, a jeep was brought in front of the guard room, parked in front of the guard room, and then these names were called, as I mentioned it earlier on. The cell was opened, Lieutenant Say was called, and then followed by Buwajame, Bakar Mane, Lamin Dabo, Ablai Bah. Yeah.
Let's get the names again properly.
Yeah.
Jibril Say, you said.
Yes.
Followed by who else?
Buwajame.
Bubajame.
Lieutenant Buwajame, Lieutenant Lamin Dabo, Suso.
Lamin Dabo.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then.
Lamin Dabo, does he have a nickname?
Lamin Dabo.
Yes.
Yes, he has a nickname.
What was the nickname?
Suso.
Suso.
Yeah, we are all from the same village. He's from Breng, I'm from Breng.
Okay.
He's called Suso. You have Ablai Ba, a chopping.
Chopping.
Then you have, who else? OCDT, Kedek Silla, Amadou Silla.
Cadet Silla, yes.
Yes.
And who else?
These 5, I can remember seeing them boarding the vehicle.
And then what happened after that?
And as soon as they boarded the vehicle, to my surprise this time around, I should have gone with Babukar Jata, but sorry, something happens before they depart. As I said, as soon as Babukar Jata walked in, I told him about his driver. He asked me to go and negotiate his release. When he was released, I came back to him. You know what he told me? He said, Ba,
what does that mean?
He said, Ba, do you think you are not also part of these people? I said, sir, what do you mean? He said, the coup leader is from Jara, so I'm also from Jara. I said, sir, but if I'm part of it, then you are also part of it. He said, but why do you say that? I said, I'm working directly under you. So, you know, we are not far from council members. Sana Sabali had to look back and then see us. He smiled. Maybe him doesn't know the role I played in 1994, but Sana knew what I did. So the mere fact that saying that Koyamere and I also responded with that, you know, maybe it does not go down well with him. This was why when they were leaving to go out of the barrack, he left me inside the camp. That was a surprise to me. But it does not matter. To myself, to me, I'm trying to save my own life in this case. You are seeing people, they are taking people out. You don't know where they are taking them. And you are also telling me that I am part of them. Which I also, you know, reply that if I am part of it, you are also part of it.
We have received testimony
Yeah.
that in the morning, while people were watching or going to look at the bodies that were in the truck, somebody went up the truck and realizing that Dotfal was not completely dead, he finished him off.
Finish him up in the truck?
While Dotfal's body was in the truck.
No, the time I'm seeing Dotfal, he was completely dead.
The time you saw him, he was completely dead.
Yes.
So you did not know anything about somebody having to climb up the truck to finish him?
No.
Okay, good. So you had this altercation or this conversation with Babukar Jata.
Yes.
And he left.
Yes.
Without you.
Yes.
His orderly.
Yes.
You remained behind.
Yes.
What happened afterwards?
They
You said
went
they
out.
returned in the afternoon.
Yes, when they came back in the afternoon.
Did you see them when they returned? I want to know who returned.
Yes, I saw them. The council member, they all came back, including Babukar Jata himself.
You said, quote, council members.
Yes.
They all came back, including Babukar Jata.
Yes.
Unquote. That is
Yes.
exactly what you said.
Yes.
Tell us which council members you saw.
Lieutenant Sana Sabali, Lieutenant Edward Singate, Lieutenant Haidara, and then Yankuba Ture, including Babukar Jata. Yes.
Sorry, you saw all of them?
Yes.
Did you see any other senior military officers present there who were not members of the council?
If there is any, it is Babukar Jata. If there is any, at that point in time, it's Babukar Jata.
He is the only one you can recall?
I can recall, yes, I can remember.
Do you know a person called Peter Singate?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Though is all along with his brother.
Could you say that again?
What I'm saying, Peter is always with his brother, Edward Singate. They are always together. Always.
That may be the case, but was he present
Yes,
on
he
this
was
particular
present.
day?
I just forgot to mention his name. He is present. He was present. Yes.
Now let's talk about their entourage, the members of the entourage who were present.
Yeah.
Tell us who?
As I said, Lieutenant Sana Sabali. Lieutenant Edward Singate.
You've mentioned the council members
Okay.
who were present.
Okay.
You said all of them,
Yeah.
and you listed them.
Okay.
Among senior officers, you mentioned one, and you confirmed another.
Yes.
That was
Peter Singate.
Singate
Yes.
and Jata.
Yes.
So now let's talk about their entourage,
Okay.
their orderlies.
The orderlies, JCB Mendy is there. Lamin Marong is there. Bach Samba Jallo is there. Njai Ponkal is there. What I mean, Diche Babu Karanjai, Ebi Njai. You know, they were all there. And this Churo, Mustafa also is there. And then yes. So
For Yankuba Ture, who was there?
for Yankuba Ture, you know, I think I have forgot. Unless I go through because I also prepared some.
Yes, I want you to testify without looking
Okay.
at it. It's not a memory test, but
Yeah. So far, I think these are people that I've seen. Others are there whom I cannot remember.
earlier you mentioned Esa Mendy.
Esa Mendy, yes, he's an orderly to Yankuba Ture.
But was he present or was he not?
Of course, he was present.
You mentioned Njai Dichep,
Yes.
Njai Ponkal.
Yes.
We received testimony that he wasn't there on the second trip because he was injured and was taken to hospital or was allowed to go home. What do you say to that?
I dispute to that. I dispute to that.
Okay, you can't say anything about that. Okay, so you saw all these people there,
Yes.
and what happened that afternoon?
When they came back, you know, in a convoy form, the convoy went, you know, guard room, turn left, up to the ante room. Vehicles were parked, and then the Land Rover was driven between the ante room and the cookhouse. That's where the Land Rover was parked. But the way and the manner, you can see his escort can simply tell you that something, you know, serious have gone on.
Okay. Let's take a step back. Before this statement you've just made, you told us that people were called out of the guard room and they were put in this Land Rover. They left. Do you know to which direction they headed?
Yeah, you can see the convoy taking Brikama Highway towards Brikama.
All the council members went
Yes.
with this convoy,
Yes.
that's what you said.
Yeah.
Babukar Jata, did he go with the convoy?
Yes, he go with them.
This time round, he again left you behind.
Yes.
Did he see you?
Huh?
Did he see you?
I was standing with him. In the normal circumstances, he should have even used his official car. But this time around, he don't go with his official car. He joined the council members' car and then left with them. And he left me there.
When they were leaving, did you know where they were going?
No, I don't know where they were going. I don't know. Because there's nothing mentioned like that, no.
You mentioned that it was Buba Jame Kanilai and Bach who opened the cell and allowed Jangom to be released.
Ngom.
Excuse me, to be released. What happened to them, Kanilai and Bach?
Oh, nothing happens to them.
Did they remain in the camp?
No.
Or did they go with the convoy?
They went with the convoy.
Tell me who went with the convoy.
I can see Buba Jame was in front of the Land Rover. The driver, I cannot remember now. But Kanye was behind the Land Rover as they were leaving.
So it is your testimony that Buba Jame, a.k.a. Kanilai,
Yes.
was in the front of the Land Rover.
Yes.
And Alaji Kanyi
Was behind the Land Rover.
behind at the back of the Land Rover.
Yes, yes.
That's your testimony?
Yes, that's my testimony.
They left and they came back.
Yes.
How long did it take for them to return?
Maybe approximately 2 hours. 2 hours, maybe.
So let's say around 4 p.m., considering they returned
Yeah.
around 1 after
Yeah,
1.
because we left the camp, towards 5, heading to office, yes, around that time.
So they returned around 4.
Something like that.
And you said they drove in a convoy and went and parked around the anteroom.
Yes.
Tell us what happened after
All right.
that.
So, as I said, the Land Rover was parked between the cookhouse and the anteroom. So, how do you call it? I didn't go to the Land Rover to see what is happening there, but I can see, people inside. I can see dead bodies inside because you can see leaves were put on top of them. And also, because Samuel Jose is a very tall guy, you can see legs. Yeah.
What happened after that?
Then from there, the council members, immediately they left the anteroom, they went up to around the fence, after the cookhouse, around the fence, where we normally have a big soccer way. They went up to that area. To my own, understanding that they might map out an area where they're going to bury these people. They went up to that, soccer way. They stood there for about 2-3 minutes. Then they came back. And as soon as they came back, you see a group of soldiers around that end. I was at the anteroom, but still I can see them. I see a group of soldiers, whether they were digging or what. But to me, I thought probably in that soccer way, that's where their remains were buried. But according to testimonies I'm hearing, that they were, they dug, grave for them to be buried. All right. Myself, I went with the investigator to that ground to show them exactly where I thought it could have been there. But the environment was totally changed to me. And then because I found something there that I did not left there before. That was a trench that was dug exactly where the soccer way is.
So what eventually happened to the bodies?
Well, I'm quite sure they might be buried.
Did you see the burial?
No, I did not see the burial. I did not witness the burial.
But can you tell those who were involved in the burial?
Well, Kanye in those days is just like a crazy guy, You cannot predict the type of person he was. He was all alone there at the burial ground because I can see he's a tall guy. Wherever he is, you can be able to spot him among the lot. I know he was there, and the Buba Jame, but the rest, probably the...
Which Buba Jame are you referring to?
Same Kalilai.
Kalilai.
Yes.
He was there?
He was there.
He participated?
Of course, yes.
Apart from, you talked about seeing the bodies of Dotfal and Barrow.
Yeah.
You talked about the killing of Fafanyang.
Yeah.
You also talked about the removal of certain officers from the guard room. They went towards Birkama. They came back with dead bodies 2 hours later.
Yeah.
Did you see any other killing in Yundum barracks that
Yes.
day?
I did not see it eye to eye, but I heard gunshot, and I am quite sure he must have been killed. That is Basiru Kamara. Because immediately they arrive while others are busy digging there. We are going to the guard room when we meet along with Alaji Kanyi, equally with Edward Singate, coming towards the anteroom, towards the cookhouse, when Basiru Kamara is in front of them. also tied in pants. You know, until around cookhouse end, I had multiple shots. I presume that he was killed. And I didn't see him, since then I didn't see him again.
Do you know who fired those shots?
Well, if you may ask me, I would say is Edward and this guy, how do you call it, Alaji Kanye. That's what I believe.
That is just a belief?
Yeah, that's a belief, yes.
But you do not have first-hand information
no,
about
I don't
that?
have first-hand to see actually who shot or no. But I believe that these two guys must have, because it is multiple shot. Pow, pow. So obviously speaking, this is two people who fired.
And do you know what happened? Well, you did not see that body,
No,
so you would not know.
No, I did not see that body.
All right. And that day, what time did you leave the camp?
We left the camp very late, after 5 to 6, after 5 anyway. Went back to this
Did
place.
you leave alone?
No, I live together with Babu Karjata this time around, with his officer car, including his driver. As soon as we take off the camp, we are going, he had to, remind me again, saying, "Ba, fonga mem for yaman die bang." As we are going back to Banyu, he told me, "Ba, what I told you, didn't you not like it?" He said it was a joke. I said, "Sir, that is too expensive. That joke is too expensive. You are seeing they are taking people out, going to kill them, and equally you are telling me that I'm part of it." I said, "Look, I'm also somebody's son. If you feel like you don't trust me anymore by your side, it's better you return me back where you took me. It's better than, you want to auction my life like this." Since then, our relationship was so, with Kolesawa, he feared me in those days, to be quite honest, because I was never happy with him. I worked under him for 2 good years without being promoted. A private soldier working with an army commander. Is that normal? He didn't promote me. And he even told me that, "Ba, I'm te promote la." I said, "Look, I'm not here for rank." Yes, I'm not here for rank. If you want, you promote. If you don't want, you leave it. You see, maybe now, but ask my fellow colleague, in those days, I have my face is very, very, terrible. Because I have mustaches which are very long, sometimes I roll them, by looking at me, you have to have confidence to talk to me,
You were fearful.
Oh, let me call it, that's what even saved me. That's what even saved me. Because I don't laugh that much. I'm always somebody who is business-like, okay? And since then, Babu Kara, I don't even ask for permission. I don't even ask for favor from him. I don't even ask anything. Later on, I told him that if you feel like you are not, you don't trust me anymore, it's better you get me back where you pick me from.
Did you ask to be transferred?
Yes, I asked him for a transfer. He said, "Okay, I will look into it." But that's where I was until after the transition period, till 1996. Yeah.
Your statement said 1995, but
No,
your
it's
testimony is 1996.
During the transition period, 2 years I can remember that. Yeah.
So what happened after 1996, after the transition?
After the transition, I went back to after Babu Karjata, when Babu Karjata relieved me, one of my badmates changed me, P.S. Mendy, who later changed me as an orderly to Babu Karjata. I went back to military police, because then I was in the military police already. I went back to the military police, that's where I was until 2001. I went for a special force commando training.
We wouldn't go into that at the moment.
Okay.
Let's just fast forward to the period the period in which you were removed from the army.
Okay.
Can you tell us what happened?
Yes,
what led to your removal from the army?
I was in the military police until 2008. As a duty sergeant who was on duty that day, I received a call, an informant who informed me that there are people around Kersirin, selling drugs. All right. And I even asked him, how do you know this number? It was not, then telephones were, it was not my telephone number. It was a direct line in the office. All right. So when he called, I said, who are you? He introduced himself as Mamadi Dabo. All right. A civilian. I told him, how do you come to know about this transaction? He said he was involved in a translation from Arabic to English, because there is a Pakistani man who's supposed to buy drug from somebody else. And in fact, he knows where they should meet, in order to go ahead with their deal. I said, but I don't know you. I would like to see you in person before doing any other thing. He said, okay, if you can come up to Senegambia, at the roundabout, he told me you'll find me there. But with all that, this information were booked in my diary, because in the military police, all our activities are booked in the diary. I booked the information that I received a call informing me about a drug transaction. And my action taken is I am going to the ground to effect arrest with one of my colleagues, who was my junior man.
At this stage, you were aware that you were military police, correct?
Yes.
And your role was to police the army, wasn't it?
Yes.
Your role was not to carry on as a civilian policeman.
No, see, we normally have that collaboration with the police.
Yes, that is collaboration.
Yes, and
but at
normally,
this stage, you were not collaborating with the police. You were going on a unilateral action.
Exactly. Like.
And at this stage, there was also a drug enforcement agency.
Yes.
There was also police stations around Kersering area.
Yes.
You did not report to the drug squad, did you?
No, I did not.
You did not report to the police station, did you?
No, I did not.
You took it upon yourself to deal with this matter?
Yes.
And it was out of your jurisdiction? It was not part of your normal responsibilities as military police to participate in this activity?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us what happened afterwards.
So like, what I was intending to do was, after effecting arrest, I take them to the nearest police station, whereby they'll be charged according to the law, and then...
You putting the cart before the horse?
No, I said...
you should have reported to the police and let the police effect the arrest.
No, normally...
Now you want to reverse it. You want to effect the arrest and then go to the police.
See, you see...
But just proceed. Tell us what you did.
Exactly. What I'm trying to say here is, normally sometimes when you're on patrol, sometimes we arrest people, we take them to the nearest police station.
That is flagrant delicto. That is different. That is when you find somebody in the process of committing a crime.
Exactly.
But in this particular occasion, that was not the case.
Okay.
And a report had been made.
And also, we can be called upon, to assist. All right?
Yes, but on this occasion, you were not assisting. On this occasion, you were the main actor doing the arrest.
Okay.
But let's not argue over what should have or could have.
Yeah.
Let's focus on what you did.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, when I came with my colleague up to the roundabout, we stopped because the military police car is very obvious. When he saw the military police car, he parked alongside the road. He came out. He introduced himself that I am Mamadi Dabo. I was the one talking to you. I said, okay, but how do you come to know about it? He said he was involved in a translation. That's how he come to know about this deal. And I told him where actually this deal is supposed to take place. He showed me a road that if I should finish it, if I turn on my right, I will see the compound directly. I said, okay. So I told him to go home. So long you have informed us now, you can leave. I went with my colleague. The moment we arrive at the compound gate, back in the car, coming down, they can see, because it is transparent. It is, glasses are all over. They saw our presence. So they decided to open the other gate, the back door, and then they jumped over the fence and they started running. So we also followed them, pursued them for a while. We could not arrest any one of them, and then we came back, joined the vehicle, and go back to the Indum camp. As I arrived also, I booked my arrival that I went after the, to effect arrest, but unfortunately we could not arrest anyone. Okay? While I was there around 6 a.m. to 7, Babu Karba, Bora Koli, Alaji Kamara.
Babu Karba, which security outfit did he belong to?
At the time, he was the one holding on the office, military police office, while our PM, Kulutemane, was out for a course.
And the other person you mentioned, Bora
Other person, Bora Koli.
What outfit did he belong to?
Bora Koli is among the junglers.
Where is he at the moment?
So he's not in the country.
How about the first person you mentioned?
Alaji Kamara used to be an intelligence officer. All right. These people appeared.
Three of them?
Three of them. And it's only Alaji Kamara who was not an officer at the time. Babu Karal, he was a Lieutenant Babu Karal. And then you have Captain Bora Koli. So they told me that, they were instructed by the CDS then, Lantombon Tamba, that I should be arrested. I said, but what happens? They said, no, it's an instruction. I said, look, you have to tell me what have I done wrong before I'm arrested. So, I insisted, they furthermore tell me that, look, he said you went after a diamond dealer and you collected 22,000 euro. I said, well, I don't know where you get your information, but the information I have is different. I opened the diary for them to see what is. They said they are not interested in the diary. It's an order given to them, and they have to arrest me. So, they asked me my pistol. I removed my pistol and then detached the magazine and gave them the pistol. I can see they were sniffing the pistol to see whether it has been fired. And subsequently, I give them the magazine too. They opened the magazine, they removed the rounds, count the number of rounds was 8. The number of rounds that I signed is equally the number of rounds inside my pistol. So I had them saying that, but Nimman fire. I said, what are you saying? He said, the information they have is I sued the complainant on his leg and his receiving treatment at the intensive care unit at RVH. I said, wow, this is another thing. So nonetheless, I said, okay, so long that's the issue, I will accept the arrest. I went inside the cell with my colleague, Balamusa Sedi. So we are there. That was on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. In the morning, Lantom Montamba himself drove up to the camp and asked the duty MP to open the cell. When he opened the cell, we were, asked to come out. Lantombon said, that's the first time I even hear the name of the complainant. That is Nalma Mamadou Sisela Kodobon Dimbal Sambala Mile 2. He said, if you did not take out Mahmoud Sisse's money, he's going to take us to Mile 2. Which I feel was, not proper, because here you are talking about senior NCOs who have served the law more than 20 years in service. If you hear something about them, you come up to the, in front of them, or you brought them before you. At least you could have allowed them to, listen to their side of the story. But nonetheless, he did not do that. He just came out to issue threat. Then that's how he left us. He went back. We were detained for a 6-month period.
Where were you detained?
I was detained at the cells, military police cells, for 6 months. I would call it no report that, there were reports, but they were contradicting each other. Because there was a report that came from Fajara Barracks, which was written by LAMIN Bojang, Captain Bojang then, the report says that, I shot the complainant on his leg. He's receiving treatment at the intensive care unit at RVH. And also I took 11,500 euros, including 5,000 Gambian money. The military police, Babakar Ba himself wrote a report. The military police report says that it was 6,500 euro involved in the transaction, and I have never fired my pistol, So they were contradicting each other.
So what happened eventually?
So this report was sent to the army headquarters, because we are not, we are senior NCOs, non-commissioned officers. There was a meeting that was convened by the Chief of Defense Staff then, Lantom Bontamba, a staff meeting to ask as to how to go about with the problem. Lieutenant Major Bojang was calling. He was the legal advisor to the army then. When he was called, they gave him both reports. He went through the report. He said the reports are contradicting. He wrote another letter to the military police saying that the matter need to be reinvestigated, and then, to certain how much money is involved and who did the shooting. So when that letter came in, I had the preview to see the letter, of course. Then Kulutamane came back from his coast. When we arrived at his office, he said, since his arrival, he could not involve himself in the case. The simple fact is, Lantom Tamba was threatening him that if he should involve himself in that case, he's going to lose his rank, according to him. And when he was saying it, I was not alone. I was there together with my co-accused person. He said, now that the same headquarters have written to him to reinvestigate, let us be rest assured that he is going to reinvestigate the matter and come up with a tangible report. Then we told him that, okay, our minds are at rest now, so long you are asked to reinvestigate. Because he knew us, we have been working with him for quite a long time. So there, he called the complainant, obtained his statements, and we also give a statement. That investigation is not even completed yet. One fine day, after working hours, which is unusual, after working hours, Mamatar Seka, then the camp commandant, Mamatar Seka walked in, called the RSM, and then asked the RSM to inform us that we are going to appear on orders. So when RSM approached me and told me, I said, but sir, what is going on? This is working after working hours. How can you carry an orders after working hours? He said, look, he was only there to inform me that let me prepare. I said, okay. The RSM is RSM Sise. His first name, Musa Sise. So we prepared, we put on our uniform, and then we went to Kulutamane's office. He was the OC military police at the time. He read the charges to us that, scandalous misconduct, whether we are guilty or not. We said we are not guilty. He referred the matter to camp commandant. From his office, we went to camp commandant's office. Camp commandant also read the same text to us that, we are charged, scandalous misconduct, and then whether we are guilty, we said no, we are not guilty. The funny thing is we are not even allowed to explain our side of the story. He said he was called by Lantombon Tamba that I should be dismissed from the army, handed over to the police for prosecution. I said, sir, we have procedures in the army. If I offended, let's follow those rules and regulations, those procedures. I'm not working for Lantombon. How can you say Lantombon said I'll be dismissed? I'm not working for Lantombon. So how can he said, I proved to be stubborn, but I don't know what is ahead of me. I said, okay. He said he dismissed us, and from his office to a waiting car, straight to police headquarters. We arrived at the police headquarters. This was in the evening, around after 7 towards 8 in the evening. So it was very unusual for the police to receive such a caliber of people without being informed. They said they are not going to accept us. I assured the duty officer that, look, we are law-abiding citizens. We didn't did anything wrong. Allow us to be here. He said, no, he cannot put us inside the cell. He said, yes, it's all right. We can be behind the counter until daybreak. Then your superiors will have been in the office. And he also did exactly what I told him. He kept us behind the counter. We were there until the following morning when GCS then, Baji was the IGP. When he came, we were escorted to his office. He started asking us what happens. We said, well, we don't know. He said, your dismissal is, I cannot understand the way you guys are dismissed. He said, but just take it in good faith, as man, whatever comes to your way, you take it. We say, it's all right. So long we know what we did, we didn't do anything wrong. Also, they obtained statements, we were charged, we spent 3 days, the 4th day we were paraded before the High Court. That's where I even come to see my informant. He was also arrested alongside with 2 others who came to be Mankaman Sane, and then Ahmad Bailo Kamara, who was a taxi driver then. So we are all charged alongside conspiracy and robbery with violence. We were denied bail because they said it's unbailable. So we had to get to mile 2. We were reminded, and also we are told we have to look for a counsel for ourselves, lawyers who are going to represent us because it's a criminal matter. We cannot stand for ourselves. At that point in time, what lawyers are charging, my brother, I cannot afford it. 150,000, where would I get that? So thank God I secured a lawyer, a service of a lawyer, who represented me throughout the marathon trial.
Who was he?
Boriture, Barrister Boriture. We remained in prison for 4 years, 6 months, 10 days on trial until on the November 6th, 2012, we were acquitted and discharged from the court. So the following day, I went together with my co-accused person to meet our lawyer. We instructed him to write to the army for our reinstatement.
5 of you were charged?
Yes.
Who was your co-accused you're referring to?
Yeah, Balamusa. We are all military police personnel.
First, last name, please?
Balamusa Sedi.
Okay.
So we instructed the lawyer to write to the army for our reinstatement because, according to the allegations, it's not true. The lawyer also wrote to the army for our reinstatement, and then he also got a reply from the army that they still have the right to try us on military court-martial.
Do you have the necessary documentation,
yes,
your order of acquittal, the judgment order of acquittal,
yes,
and this letter you're talking about?
Yes, I have them.
Could you produce them to the commission, please?
Yes, please.
I understand you made copies.
Yes.
Send both the originals and the copies.
Photocopies.
Would you kindly pass the judgment and the letter of Boriture from Crown Chambers written to Defense Headquarters? Mr. Chair, we would request that the judgment of the High Court by Court of Appeal Justice, Honorable Justice Amijuf, judgment dated 6 November 2012, be added in the record as Exhibit 30. Should that be accepted as Exhibit 30? And the letter from Crown Chambers dated 12 December 2012 be also included in the record as Exhibit 31.
Request granted, Counsel.
May I also ask that the Commission accepts the photocopies of these documents and return the originals to the owner?
Request also granted.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. So, Mr. Witness, your lawyer wrote to the Army.
Yes.
And what did the Army say?
As I said, the Army replied with threatening, because I will see that as a threatening. No? So when I received the letter I went to the lawyer. When he gave me the letter, I went through it. I feel very uncomfortable to stay here. I decided to go on exile. I went to Dakar. I was in Senegal.
Mr. Witness, perhaps I should just read out a portion of the letter written by the Army to Crown Chambers, informing them of their position on the request for reinstatement. The last paragraph, the penultimate paragraph states as follows, quote, "The action of GAF was motivated by the revelations in our investigations, which were cogent, consistent, compelling, and lead to an irresistible conclusion that the accused persons extorted money from the complainant. Please find attached a copy of the investigation report and the legal opinion that ensued. Note that we still reserve the right to try them in court-martial." Paragraph 5. I hope this letter will awaken their senses to allow sleeping dogs lie. Unquote. Signed, Bahore Jaite, Major for Chief of Defense Staff. It's quite extraordinary that a person's been acquitted and discharged, and the Army still think that they could try the person on the same charges under court-martial. But having received this letter threatening potential court-martial, if you do not let sleeping dogs lie, what did you do after that?
See, how can I allow the sleeping dog like throughout my youthful age, I served in the Army for 20 years, and you just want that to go like that? Where would I pick up from there? All my life is in the Army, and this is the place I know. Look, up till now, my 20 years is in the air like that. No benefit.
What did you do after receipt of this letter?
Yeah, I fled. I went to Senegal, in Dakar.
Why did you have to go to Senegal?
Maybe you don't know. I have gone far with these people. I know the type of people I'm dealing with.
What type of people were you dealing with?
They're just crazy people, monsters, who are bloodthirsty, Yeah.
Those are the kind of people that were in the Army? That's what you suggested?
No, but I'm not saying in the Army, in the Army then. What I'm trying to say, the government in place at that time. All right? And maybe in my other appearance, you would start to know what I'm trying to tell you. All right? So the mere fact that, you can see, why are they refusing? Now, as I'm speaking to now, my co-accused party is in the Army. He's reinstated.
When was he reinstated?
As soon as after the impasse, he was reinstated back in the Army, and he's working. So,
Did you make an appeal to be reinstated?
yes, I went to the headquarters many times. You know, what I was told that there will be a board, you know, sitting who will look into our cases. But then,
Do you know how your co-accused came to be reinstated?
when I asked, they said it is an executive order from President Barrow that he should be in the army because during the impasse, they are the people with the president. This is what they told me, which is very unfair. To be quite honest, who am I? What have I done? What is the difference between, what is the difference between me and him? We are all accused of the same offense. So even when I was, in Senegal, do they know what part did I play? They don't know.
What did you go to do in Senegal?
What did I?
Go to do in Senegal? Why did you have to go to Senegal?
No, like I went to Senegal in order in order to add my voice, to what is happening back home, and I was definitely doing that.
You were afraid that you would be court-martialed?
Yes, I'll be caught. I'm afraid of that, to be quite honest.
You fled?
Yes, I fled.
So you returned after the impasse?
After the election, yes.
After the election?
Yes.
And you tried to be reinstated?
Yes.
And you did not succeed?
I did not succeed.
And you think that is unfair?
It's unfair. It's unfair. Because even if I'm not going to be reinstated, but at least give me a reason that is, genuine enough. At least. Or give me my benefit. I go.
Mr. Ba, I have no further questions for you. I give you another rendezvous sometime in the future.
Okay.
Months to come, you will come back here to testify about the other subjects that we mentioned.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chair, the witness.
Thank you very much, Chairman Council. Thank you, Mr. Ba, for your testimony. Commissioners, do you have any questions to put to Mr. Ba? If not, Council, we would end this afternoon's proceedings, and I believe we would come tomorrow morning, unless you have something else lined up for the afternoon. Do you?
This afternoon, the chair has a meeting, an important meeting outside the offices of the Commission, so there won't be any hearing this afternoon.
I thought I wasn't going to be exposed for the cancellation of the meeting. It is with the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, and it concerns
the chair said it, so, not cancelled.
Well, you exposed me. So there wouldn't be any meeting this afternoon. We would come back here tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock sharp. Thank you all for coming. The meeting is adjourned.